Hey everyone, the greatest goblin that ever lived is here to give you another comic book review for the final week of August 2012. Is it the final week? Yep, final week. Yeah, September's coming up. Alright. This is... I don't know how this one's going to play out. I mean, I've got some love to give, and I got some hate to give. Alright, I'm going to start with Marvel and end with the greediest comic book company on the planet right now, DC. Alright, I only got 2 books from Marvel and the rest are all DC. And DC, I want to personally thank you for raping my wallet, you greedy motherfuckers. Alright. We're going to start with Marvel. We got 2 here. We're going to start with Captain Marvel number 3, Earth's Mightiest Hero. I like that cover. It's simple, but it's nice. Kelly Sue DeConnick and Dexter Soy, they worked their magic on here, and it's a fantastic job. This was definitely better than issue 2 was, but in my honest opinion, not quite as good as issue 1 was. Not quite there. I still preferred issue 1 out of the first 3. Yeah, issue 2, don't get me wrong, it was good, but it used a cliched angle involving a freak accident leading to time travel. But here, the storytelling takes a positive direction. Now, it's starting to look a little bit more original with what they're doing here. Carol is teaming up with some soldiers here, and they're in the 1940s, when back in those days women just weren't looked at as a serious role for a soldier. And I love the dialogue in here. Love the dialogue. But, and the artwork is, to me, Dexter Soy's artwork in here, it's improving each time I see it. And I love that. Now, as far as the aircrafts that Carol and these soldiers are fighting, what I meant by this storytelling starting to look us a little more original is that the aircrafts, the spaceships, if you would call them that, might have something to do with the Kree. So Carol's definitely got a bit of an investment in this fight, and I like the fact that the soldiers don't question her right off the bat. They wait until their first fight is done, and they go into retreat, and they find some place to rest. That's when they question her. What is she? Who is she? Where did she come from? How did she have these powers and everything? And I like that. They don't freak out right off the bat. They just go, oh, okay, and they shake it off and they keep fighting. I do like that. But by far my absolute favorite part of the book was Carol's little monologue to a Japanese soldier near somewhere in the beginning of the book. Just awesome. I'm not gonna say what she said, because I feel like y'all should pick this up and read it. I mean, the dialogue in the whole book was just great. Kind of one of those WTF kind of cliffhangers, but not too serious. But still, it's got me interested. I'm ready to get issue 4. But what Carol says to the Japanese soldier in here is just awesome. It just reeks of awesome. And it's always good to see Carol in her own series again. Carol, in my opinion, is a legendary hero in the Marvel database. She's got a huge fan base, and it's time Marvel started showing her some proper love. Let's see if we can get this past 50 issues, fellas, okay? Captain Marvel number 3. Great book. Better than issue 2. Not quite as good as number 1, but still an awesome read. I loved it. Okay. Lastly for Marvel, Wolverine and the X-Men, number 15. Jason Aaron continues this. We got Melina on artwork, and I love this artwork in here. The interior art is just great. This is one of those books that it's a bit of a jumbled mess, but it's done right. Jason Aaron has found a way to make a jumbled mess of stories that all tie in to one particular plot. And, you know, it takes place, takes place after Avengers vs. X-Men round 10. And all these jumbled up stories, they all connect to one simple point. I'm not going to ruin that. It's no big deal, I just don't want to ruin everything about it. Once again, the dialogue between the character interactions, not just the dialogue itself, but the character interactions are just well done. Wolverine and Bobby, you know, Iceman, they share a great scene. Kitty and Iceman share a very lovely scene. It's short, but when you look at Kitty and Bobby looking at each other, you know they're smitten with each other, and it's a very nice touch. I especially love the looks on Kitty's face when she's talking to Bobby. It's just cute. It's just fucking cute. The scene with Professor Xavier and Rachel with Quentin Quire was hilarious as shit. Some heartbreaking, a couple of heartbreaking moments in here, but I don't want to ruin that. And another thing I won't spoil is, in this issue, we get our first official graduate of the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Our first graduate. Who was it? Not going to tell you. But when you see it, I don't think you'll really be surprised. This was a great issue. Loved it. It was one of those reads that was very fun. I enjoyed every bit of it. It was a jumbled mess, but it was done right. The comedic moments were there, and they were well done. I'm loving this series, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't go away after AVX is over. They should stick with this, keep Jason Aaron on it, because he's doing a fantastic job with it. Wolverine the X-Men number 15, definitely. If you're loving this series, if you like Wolverine, if you like the X-Men, pick this up. I guarantee you will enjoy it. Alright, those are the only two books I got from Marvel. We're going to switch to DC, but first, I got to take a break. I'll be back after this message.
You don't need a Tetris shot.
Tetris.
How do you even Tetrasize?
Square, rectangle, trapezoid, tetrazoid. Nintendo introduces Tetris.
Put a piece here, put a piece there. Use your thumbs, use your eyes. Find yourself Tetrasize.
Now you're playing with power.
Welcome back, everybody. Now it's time to go to DC. Alright. I'm going to start off. I'm going to do this in alphabetical order, so I'm going to start off with Love. And unfortunately, the way it ends, not so much. We're going to start with the cheapest book from DC, and it's ironically one of the better ones. Aquaman, number 12. And before anybody asks, no, I did not get the Robot Chicken variant cover. Why? Because, don't get me wrong, I like Robot Chicken, but I honestly don't care. I don't. I'll reblog pictures of it on my Tumblr page. Go to my Tumblr page, by the way, and follow me. Cheap plug. But did I want to buy this book just for that cover? Absolutely not. I would much rather have an Ivan Reyes cover of the Black fucking Manta. Yes. 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 Okay, enough of that. Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes. Okay. Here's where the love-hate relationship that I feel like I have with Jeff Johns' writing starts to show itself. I loved this. Great stuff. Ivan Reyes' artwork is nothing short of incredible. Storytelling is fantastic. Black Manta finds a hidden treasure of Atlantis, and Dr. Shin believes it was the instrument that was responsible for the disappearance and the sinking of Atlantis. And the story has plenty of twists, Great plots, great drama, great action. Stuff you wouldn't think you would see coming, but when you see it, you're like, yeah, that works. And unfortunately, we suffer a loss in here, and Jeff Johns knew how to end this book. He knew what he was doing when he and Ivan Reyes developed how the cliffhanger would be. The cliffhanger was amazing, and it teased us with, you want to see where this goes? You gotta wait 2 months. We gotta wait 2 months for the continuation of this shit. And it works. Jeff Johns, I don't love everything you do, but for Aquaman, you got me. You got me by my collar, and you're pulling me in, you're wanting me to read more. That's how you do it. This is how you write. Write your shit like this. Don't write shit like this. Write it like this. It's like, we're going to get the Aquaman 0 issue next month, and okay, that's fine, but we got to wait 2 months for the continuation of this. Brilliant. Pure brilliance. Get your readers hooked, make them want more. That's how you do it, Jeff. Thank you for this. This was great, but something beat it for the pick of the week. I'll get to that here in a minute. Awesome. Just awesome. Alright. Next up, Detective Comics Annual #1. Here's the beginning of the annuals. Look at this. 4 annuals. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 $5 books. $20 right here, DC. Fuck you. Greedy assholes. You had to release these all at once. Apologize for that, but Detective Comics Annual #1. I believe this is Tony Daniel's departure from the series, because I believe in issue 13 we're getting a new creative team for Detective Comics. Batman beaten by the Black Mask. No, he's not. He's not beaten by anybody. That's a false representation on the cover. The cover does look impressive, but Batman's not beaten by anybody. I'm going to go ahead and ruin that. Was this worth $5? In my opinion, no. This is not a $5 worthy story. Maybe definitely a $3, maybe a $4. $5? No. This was not worth the extra buck. I'm sorry. That's just me. Don't get me wrong, I liked what they're doing with Black Mask in here. Continuing the story that happened back during the Night of the Owls thing. You know, where Black Mask has escaped Arkham. He's wreaking havoc like he knows how. And we find in here that he's got some strong competition from another classic Batman rogue. Now, who is that? I don't know if I want to spoil that for you or not. I don't know. I don't think I want to ruin it. But when Batman Batman puts all the pieces together, we get a very nice action scene. But the story itself ends kind of weird. And it doesn't end well for Black Mask. I liked the dialogue, especially the dialogue between Bruce and Alfred. That's always good stuff. To me, this should have been just a regular issue Detective Comics. I don't feel like this was completely worthy of being an annual story for $5. I really, honestly don't feel that way. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I loved the ending of the book, but I didn't like the whole book enough to say this was worth a $5 payment. If you want to spend $5 on this, then you go right ahead. But I would probably only recommend this to the big time Batman fans. If you're just a casual fan of Batman, like you pick up a Batman book every once in a while, but you don't do it religiously, then I'd say skip this. It's like, yeah, I would not recommend a $5 payment on a book like this for a casual fan. I would only recommend it for the big fans, the hardcore fans, whatever you want to call yourselves. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't terrible, but then again, it was just good. Pick of the week time. Pick of the week goes to The Flash, annual number 1. Fuck yes, this was good. Flash versus the Rogues. This was way better than I thought it was going to be. Wow, you talk about an awesome book. This is, in my opinion, possibly the best issue of The Flash that has come out since the New 52 got started. Incredible. Loved every bit of this. Get a look at that cover. That cover alone is worthy of being called awesome. Jesus, this was good. Lots of things happen in here that I did not expect. I love the breakdown of the story. I love the breakdown of what was going on building up to the eventual fight between Flash and the Rogues. Nice. Francis Manapulli clearly knows what he's doing in here. We get a return from Scott Collins, one of my personal favorite artists for the Flash. Returns in here. Phenomenal. Simply phenomenal. We get in here, we get the backstory as to what the Rogues were like before they got their meta powers, and we learn how they got their enhanced superpowers. We learn how it happens, and you know what? It works. It makes sense for me, and the character development is damn near perfect in here. Just great stuff. Twists I didn't see coming, especially from Captain Cold. I'm not going to ruin a damn thing from this. If you're a fan of The Flash, this right here, this is a great example of a book that is worth a $5 payment. Flash Annual number 1. Without a doubt, in my mind, the best issue of The Flash out of the New 52. Great job, Francis Manapul. Everybody that worked on this, I salute you. This was awesome. Okay, moving on. Green Lantern Annual number 1. Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver with Pete Woods and Kim Smith. This is the prologue to the Rise of the Third Army story. Was this worth $5? Yeah. But, you know, this... first thing I gotta say, I do love that cover. Now, I know I haven't been showing too much love for Green Lantern because my fanship for it has slipped down a little bit. But I gotta admit, Jeff Johns did do a good job here. More of that love-hate relationship. Loved this, hated this, but I'll get to this here in a minute. This was a good book. Very, very good. Was it perfect? Hell no. But in here we see some real torture for Hal Jordan. I mean, Black Hand, right off the bat, just decides to fuck with Hal Jordan. I mean, and he makes it personal. Ooh. What a bastard. But that's just in the very beginning of the book. And then we get further in and we see those blue-faced motherfucking psychotic sons of bitches, the Guardians of the Universe. DC, I don't know what you were thinking by deciding to make the Guardians go mad and all of a sudden doing these evil things that they're doing. It's further explained what they want to do to the Green Lantern Corps. They don't want to simply just remove the rings and take away their powers and everything like that. No. They want the Green Lantern Corps members to be killed. They want to kill the Green Lantern Corps. And I'm not making that as a euphemism either. I mean, they want to literally kill them. That's how they want to start their third army. They're not wanting to simply replace. They're using lethal. They want to use lethal force and kill them. I'm like, to the Guardians. What the fuck happened to you guys? You used to be, you're emotionless, but you used to have more sense than this. Now the Guardians have just gone. They've gone mad. I'm serious. And I tweeted about this just right after I got through reading this. And I'm like, this whole Rise of the Third Army story. I personally, there's a part of me that wants to see somebody kill these little blue-faced bastards. I'm not joking. That's how much they've been pissing me off here lately. But Jeff Johns, I gotta give you credit. You've written this story, and you've made my emotions flustered like this. You're doing your job right with this. Because you pissed me off, yet you keep me wanting to read more. Very nice. Nice work. It's not the best thing I've ever read from you. I mean, clearly your Aquaman kicks more ass than Green Lantern does. That's just my opinion. But this was a good start to the Rise of the Third Army story that's going to be coming up, and a worthy title, a worthy book. Shit, what am I trying to say? This was worth the money to me. I did enjoy this. This was good. All right. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I just know it. I just know it. But what have I always said about myself? I can be a dick sometimes. I understand that. But I try to keep these reviews brutally honest. I read other online reviews about this last book, and I don't know what to think. But this was the first book I read. And as a comic book reader, I really felt insulted. We're going to end this with Justice League International Annual Number 1. You want to talk about a book that damn sure ain't worth $5. Now here's where the hate part comes in, Mr. Johns. And to Dan Didio. Jason Fabok's on the artwork. The interior artwork is very, very good. However, it's the writing that pisses me off. I stayed loyal to the Justice League. I stayed loyal to JLI. I stayed loyal to JLI all throughout, Generation Lost, leading up to the relaunch of JLI, and I was ready for it. I was ready for it. And then we get to this. This is the JLI's departure from DC Comics. Jeff, Dan, what in the hell is the matter with you? I understand that Jeff Johns adores the character of Booster Gold, but seriously, after reading this, I tweeted directly to DC Comics, I want my goddamn money back. A Traitor in the Mist. Oh, gee, look at the cover. Who do you think it is? Okay. I read this, and you mean to tell me, Jeff, Dan, for the final book for the JLI, you're going to have them go out like punks. One of them is dead, more are injured, one's in a fucking coma, and the rest of them get smacked around by OMAC like they're nothing. You bring in the Olympian, you bring in Blue Beetle, and what's the first thing they say? Where's Superman? Where's Wonder Woman? I thought this was the Justice League. Oh no, that's the other Justice League. We're the Justice League International. Aww. When you said I was going to be in the Justice League, I was expecting to meet Superman and Wonder Woman and all that shit. In the JLI's own book, they're told, this ain't the real Justice League. Where's the big ones? Like these characters don't matter to them. Oh my God. And then to have them smacked around, and then Booster comes from the future to tell himself that Superman and Wonder Woman hooking up is gonna cause something catastrophic. Well, what is it? I can't tell you. And he's about to tell him, and he fades away. He's like, no, what is it? What's gonna go on? And after all that, they said at the end of the book, Batman's having a talk with the being that possessed OMAC, Brother Eye. And it says, what do you want to know what happens? Stay tuned for the new Justice League in 2013. You mean to tell me we've had 12 issues, a solid year run, plus an annual, and it all leads up, all of this, 13 books was nothing. And to me, after reading this, I now feel that Justice League International was nothing, absolutely nothing more than a fucking lead up to a Justice League title that Jeff Johns is writing just so they can get rid of this because he's got to have his shit. He's got to have his way. Way to piss on your own franchises, DC. I was ready to be a hardcore collector for JLI because I loved that team. They didn't have to be A-list heroes. Bring some minor characters up and bring some minor characters in, B-list heroes, C-list heroes, and build them up to make them awesome and give them a stronger fan base. But what do? You shit-can their series just so you can advertise the A-list heroes all over again. And for what? So you can gain sympathy by bringing in Stargirl in honor of your late sister. Now, I am sorry you don't have your sister around with you anymore. But JLI, the whole run, has been nothing but a trailer leading up to a series that you're writing just so you can feed your ego. Fuck you. Fuck the both of you. You shit on that series and you shit on my money. You shit on my fanship for the JLI. I don't know what else to say. For anybody that liked the JLI annual, you can go ahead and like it. It doesn't bother me. If you liked it, that's fine. But me personally, I felt really insulted. That's all I got, everybody. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for putting up with my ranting there. But, yeah. Be sure to subscribe to me and subscribe to my second channel, Blugoblin X. Thanks again for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Tumblr. Until next time, I'll see you later.